What's up, everybody? New pod, who dis? Episode 10.
We made it to 10.
Double digits. Do you guys remember your 10th birthday?
Absolutely not.
This is way better.
I think it was probably Hanson fueled.
Oh, yeah. This is also Hanson fueled. So.
10. 10 weeks.
I'm head over heels in love with all three of you and just the fun times that we've had producing this podcast over the last 10 weeks. And I can't wait to see the next 10 weeks and the next 10 years. You know,
Wow,
right
this
on.
podcast is going for 10 years.
You heard it first.
Can't wait.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at NewPodWhoDis, on Twitter at NewPod_Whodis, on Facebook at NewPodWhoDis. Google us on YouTube.
Yeah, find us on YouTube by Googling it.
Yeah, we need 100 subscribers, and last time I checked, we have 89 to go.
Well on our way.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I don't know, did we mention last episode that our website is live?
We said it was going to be live at the end of the episode, and we did not lie because it is live.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rocking and rolling. NewPodWhoDis.com.
Yep.
Visit it.
And we'll
You'll
be
see.
You can send us fan mail on the contact
There's a
page.
I don't know if that goes anywhere yet.
We'll find out.
I think it just, you fill out all your
We're going to need
information.
to make that go somewhere. Because I know some people are just going to send us many
I'll talk to IT.
Truly keep your eyes on the website because it will be updated pretty frequently at the moment.
Yeah.
And just check on it to make sure it's still there for us.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have some good content going up there. We've got a video or two that we're working on, and it's very excited to see where it goes. Expanding our digital presence.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
Awesome.
All right, so something that's been on my mind briefly was Justice League was released this weekend.
Oh.
Which I was not too excited for because I am a Marvel fan rather than DC. I like the Superman iterations of the movies, but Batman versus Superman was trash.
Did you read a lot of comics growing up?
Yeah, I was a big X-Men reader and not DC.
Not DC. So you're split because I can't even choose a faction. The farthest I went with comics was the Sunday strips. That was my comic.
The funnies.
The
Garfield.
funnies. Yeah, that's where I stopped. But I have just going off the list of my friends now, I can think each one would be able to quickly say Marvel, DC, or did you know this volume, issue, whatever. I never made it that far.
Yeah, no. But I gave Justice League a chance. I thought, okay, we've got a few more superheroes involved. Maybe Ben Affleck will kick it up. No.
Okay, you shouldn't have started there.
Yeah, so, he usually doesn't care about his roles. Without any spoilers, he just totally punted on this character.
Yeah.
But that's all.
Just phoned it in.
Yeah. Oh man, it was bad. But
Well, he has Gal Gadot to back him up, doesn't he? Is she in that movie?
Wonder Woman
Yeah.
was a phenomenal
Yeah.
movie, and she was the only good part about Justice League
There you
for
go.
sure.
Yeah, I still have Wonder Woman, that movie, just seeing it and seeing the buzz about it, and her just now I just want to go back in time and catch back up on Wonder
That's why I
Woman.
gave Justice League a chance. I was like, okay, Wonder Woman.
That's right, because
Wonder
women
Woman
are
was
better
great.
than men.
Oh,
That
true.
is very true.
Yeah.
You
No
nailed that
arguments
one
here.
on the head.
You're welcome.
But anyways,
It sucks though, that you went I hate when I go to a movie, even if it's one I wasn't even really excited to see. But I hate when I go to a movie and you're disappointed, especially nowadays. When it costs $13 to go to a movie.
Yeah. So we didn't pay for it, so that was the other reason that we went.
Yeah.
Because we were gifted the tickets. So, and actually, funny story, when we went to the movie theater, they gave us a Thor Ragnarok commemorative coin.
I have no idea what that means.
Okay, it's Thor.
Is Thor even in it?
Yeah,
You
no.
looked at me like, that's the coolest
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And I literally, you said a bunch of sounds. I don't know what you just said.
So, okay.
You don't have
I know
commemorative
who
coins?
Thor
But
is.
they gave you a Thor coin, but
Okay,
Thor's not in the movie, is he?
Thor is a Marvel Universe character.
I know who Thor is.
So
you can stop
at a
mansplaining that to me.
At a DC movie, for them to give us it'd be like if you went to.
It's like if you went to McDonald's but brought Wendy's fries with you or something.
Exactly. Or no, if you were at
That's
McDonald's, they were handing out Wendy's coupons.
There you go. Yeah, that's just weird.
All right, well, this is such a lame conversation right now.
Welcome to the nerd episode of New Pod Who
Yeah.
Dis.
So you got a coin. cool.
Yeah, that was
it
the
made
best.
of plastic?
No, it was hard.
Plastic can be hard.
Harder. Anyway.
Did you mean to say it was made of metal?
Metal.
Okay,
That's
there
what
we
I
go.
was. Yeah, I'm coming. Full disclosure here. I'm coming off of intense weekend, and we're actually recording on Monday this week because holidays. So this is coming out on Saturday after Thanksgiving, and right now it's the Monday before Thanksgiving.
It'll be the
Future us are happy and fed
Full.
and full of turkey.
Yes.
this
But
will also be like the longest we've been away from each other in the last 3 months. Are you guys okay?
Well, not now that you just mentioned that.
Are you guys gonna be okay?
It wasn't haunting me at first, but now that I'm thinking about that, I'm like, oh
I'm
my
like kinda
goodness.
shaking.
future me is really concerned right now.
My hands
Yeah.
are sweaty.
It's okay. We can text. It's okay.
Yeah, thank God for Slack because I feel like I'm always connected.
Speaking of the future, did you guys see the Tesla announcement for the new semi-truck?
No.
No.
Dude, it is blowing my mind. I never wanted to be a truck driver in my life until I saw their semi-truck. It is amazing. It looks so futuristic.
What does it look like?
So it's
Paint us
Is
a
there
word
a
picture.
seat for a driver?
okay. Just imagine
Yeah.
like
Describe it in one word.
smooth.
Oh God.
Ooh.
That was the weirdest word you could have picked.
That's the first thing that came to mind. I don't know, like
could have
you
just
get
picked
to,
hard. Jake.
like you get to sit. Like the coolest thing about it is like the driver's seat is like smack dab right in the middle of the truck.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, right. 'Cause,
Wait,
like
what?
yeah, it is cool. Like it is pretty awesome, and it's
Yeah,
sleek,
wait. Smooth is
the right word.
and it's
Vacuum cleaner.
aerodynamic, and like it can go to like 0 to 60 in like in a ridiculous amount of time.
That's what we need is truck drivers
Yeah.
driving faster than they drive now.
No, but the cool thing is you don't even have to drive it because it's going to have all of the like driverless features.
So then why
That
is
The whole
Tesla
thing
now?
scares me.
Because you need to have someone there for like the just in case thing. But like, look at that. Tell me you don't want to become a truck driver if you can sit in this cockpit,
I
guys.
can guarantee you I never want to become a truck driver.
Okay, well,
As a person that works in the transportation industry and drives trucks on a semi-regular basis, I would rather drive in that truck.
yeah, right. We'll
For
link to
sure.
it in the show notes. But I think it's like. I can't wait to see because, like, okay, so we have like Teslas. We see Teslas out on the road, right? I'm pretty sure like most people have seen a Tesla.
We
by
fawn
now.
over them,
Yeah.
is what you mean to say.
The real question is, can you honk the horn by pulling the lever up top? Because that's really going to ruin that whole
Yeah, when the kids do this,
the
what
kids do
happens?
this.
Will AI know that in the future that like you're doing like the horn signal?
Yeah.
For those of us who can't see us,
Yeah, we're doing
pantomiming,
the elbow pull
It's a
down,
lot of elbow pulling down.
like the
Fist
whoop, whoop,
bumping.
fist bumping, like
What they
raise
do
the
with
roof.
Jackie's hometown.
No, that's different. It goes the other way. God, you have so much to learn.
But yeah, like if I ever like the second I see a Tesla semi truck on the road, that's where it's going to be my futuristic moment for me. Like, oh my god, because like I remember even when I saw like Toyota Priuses, I was like, oh, the future's coming. Tesla semi truck.
Future's coming and it's really, really quiet.
Remember when?
yeah, right.
Remember when the Priuses first came out and they had their like wheels were covered halfway?
Oh
in the
yeah,
back?
they had like the
Was that what was that?
It was
that
like
supposed
it
to
was
be
like a skirt.
aerodynamic?
I don't know. It must have been aerodynamics. It was
Come
like-
on.
No.
Maybe they had Steven there designing it and he was like, I just wanted to be smooth. And that's what they decided to do.
Yeah, wasn't that a Santana song? Rob Thomas, Santana, Smooth.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want to sing
Came
it.
out the
but
same year as like Baila Most, didn't it?
we're going to need to fact check that. It was definitely on one of the nows, though.
No, you know it was. And hey, inside this Tesla semi truck, I have multiple screens, so I can have like now up on the corner, get a movie going, maybe.
No movies.
No movies.
Distracted driving.
See,
Yeah,
this is what I'm
I
saying.
don't have to drive it.
These drivers are going to be all over the road. We can't, no.
So you've just put a desk job into a truck, so you can just.
Do you watch
There's
movies
enough
at
room
work?
to
Is
get
that
watch
what
a
you're
movie.
saying?
Oh no! Jeez.
I'll put on Justice League and catch up.
Oh, man. All right, well,
So, I think they're cool, but
it looks cool.
Tesla Trucks, Justice League, and now our new segment.
New segment.
alert. Kate, cue the music.
There's no music for this.
bum, 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 bum.
What's your beef?
That would be that's a terrible
What's
song.
your
no,
beef?
no, that was good. Steven, that was good.
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
your beef?
So
Yeah.
what's your beef is exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
What do you have beef with? Who would like to start?
I have beef. I've had beef for a long time with avocado toast.
It's so, honestly, this is such a horrible thing that you just said.
Avocado toast?
Yeah, it's delicious.
I know it's delicious. My beef is not with the toast. My beef was with people complaining about how much it costs for them to get avocado toast out when they're brunching on the weekend. the reason why I'm upset about it is because like all these people write these articles, like you've seen them, the articles that came out. It was like, I can't afford a house payment as a millennial because I'm spending all my money on avocado toast. Go to the supermarket, buy good bread, buy your own avocados, and make your own avocado toast
But
at
you
home.
also need red pepper flakes, and you also need a poached egg. I mean, there's a lot that goes into the avocado toast.
I agree with your premise. I just want to say that you got that backwards. Someone was saying that millennials can't buy houses because they buy too much avocado toast. The millennials weren't complaining that they couldn't buy
No,
houses.
true. Yeah, I'm
Because they
complaining that
I'm sure
they're
there's a
saying
millennial
that.
somewhere complaining that
I'm
they
sure
don't want to
there
give up
is.
their avocado toast.
This might be a good segue into my beef, which is people generalizing millennials.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I'm upset about it, because it's like I feel like there's levels of millennials for one.
Okay.
And
Sure.
I don't think that it's always like it's not always some like super huge fad that like it needs to get like spun around sometimes.
Are you talking about avocado toast now or millennials?
Like things that millennials do.
Okay.
Like it gets, like Joey was saying, it gets like bunched up together.
Well, here's the thing. We're all millennials, unfortunately. I think we think that it has a negative connotation when really we should be changing the narrative. Did I not say this already once before on this podcast? I'm fairly certain I've gone down this path. But that's how I feel. I think that we shouldn't let those little biddies take over. We've been here longer, and we need to define what millennial is, which is me watching Netflix on the couch all day. And that's okay.
Making avocado toast at home.
Yeah, and I'm trying to make one this Saturday. Cut the avocado. Avocado was bad, so I just had regular toast. What?
Yeah. Now you're just millennial. What's like millennial in?
Now you've just what?
What?
Like the
Too millennial, the verb?
Too millennial.
You've millennialized it.
Yeah.
So when
There you go.
So when the term millennial to describe our generation first came out, I was a big advocate against it. I thought that the connotation that it had was a negative term rather than embracing that is what our path is, right? So we're the millennial generation. Just going along with what Jackie said, we define what our generation has, not the way that the baby boomers or whoever else is gonna.
It's really the ones who
Take
came
away from
after us that are ruining it for us. No
Yeah,
offense
well-
to those listening.
well, there's such
What happened to Gen Y?
Well, the thing is, like, there's like, yeah, I know, they
It's-
just skipped it, didn't they?
No,
It's
we
all
started.
part of-
we
it's
started as Gen
all
Y.
Part of so millennial goes. It's like ranges like 20 years.
That's what I'm saying. So like it's like
There-
we experienced before like there's people in the millennial group who like only know what iPhones kind of like, you know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
like that's the time frame that, you know what I mean? We remember dial up. We remember like analog a lot of
we
stuff.
remember not having cell phones at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like that's why I feel like just how I feel like there needs to be like some of the states need to have a northern and Virginia version or a northern and southern version. Like there needs to be like two levels of millennials, like pre like fast internet and
Well,
like, post.
I also hear people describe our generation, so people who were born in the 80s, as 90s kids, right? So kids who grew up they were 5, 6, 7 in the heart of the 90s. So right along the times that, you know, fads were not digital fads. They were still like yo-yo. I mean, yo-yos was earlier than us, but
Jinko jeans.
skateboarding. Things, tangible things. And now anymore, it's been transitioned to a more digital age where you're playing skateboarding on your iPad or you're playing Candy Crush. Both of which are fun things to do, don't get me wrong.
I love Candy Crush. I'm not giving it up.
Yeah, I think it's just a thing with being labeled. Like, you know, it's just like, and not like feeling like you're like you fit the label.
But isn't that exactly defining a millennial? So you're just, it's come full circle.
I know, and I just like, I wish I could experience like the baby, like if like I was a baby boomer, like from back in the day, like how I wonder how they feel, you know? Because like, oh, those baby boomers, like
I don't think they care as much as we do,
probably not.
which is again the point. we are millennials. That's how we just.
Joey, what's your beef?
I mean, the thing that started my whole beef with this was I took an Uber ride last night, and the driver just started going off on like people littering, and he's like, "Those damn millennials just litter and they don't care." And I'm like, "Do you know who I am? I am a millennial. I don't litter." And I'm like, "There's like one piece of trash on the side of the road," and he's like, "Guys are just littering and ruining this city."
In the 1950s, the greatest generation would throw their McDonald's wrappers just out the window.
Wow.
And just said, hey,
You're just going right for them.
I'm just saying, they did a lot of great things.
How do you know about the McDonald's wrappers?
So, because I remember being told stories by older people than me that when they were kids, all that they would do is, we just opened up our window and throw our McDonald's trash right out the window.
Savage.
Maybe there were just some really terrible people because I've overheard a lot of different conversations.
Those are all of our parents that you just described. People born in the 50s. So there's that.
I mean, I would think that millennials would be known as like people who like over recycle
Exactly.
and like
we separate our
compost and
trash.
like,
Where's he
yeah.
getting his facts from?
No,
Uber
see,
driver?
those people... No, those people are older than us.
Well, in the same breath, he also said he wanted to tell he went into his friend's bathroom and saw that his toothbrush was too frayed. And he was like, I should probably tell my friend he brushes his teeth too hard. And I'm like, you just are a saint, trying to pontificate to everybody in your damn Uber.
Slow down, Uber driver.
I'll show him some frayed bristles. Tell you what.
Brush his teeth real hard.
All right.
All
Well, my beef is public bathroom conversations, specifically stranger to stranger. I don't understand why in the bathroom people feel the need to communicate with someone because they're in the stall next to them. That should be like we've just built an invisible wall. There's a physical wall, but also like an invisible wall of like, you don't see me. We don't see each other. I don't see your feet. I see nothing about you, and I don't want to talk to you.
What kind of conversations are you being forced into?
Yeah, and also like before that, like how do they start? Like what's the lead into this? Is it just like
hey, I need some toilet paper. Can you toss some under?
Oh, see, that's acceptable.
how often does that happen?
Not that often, but sometimes it happens, and girls should help girls out. But my issue is when it's like, oh, I'm just sitting on the toilet and all of a sudden I thought of this thing and like I think that the person next to me should hear about it. Like there's a woman that I work with who talks about how she thinks that there's poop on the floors. But there isn't any poop on the floors. The bathrooms are really, really clean. But she just like goes off on this tangent about how the bathrooms are really unclean and everybody leaves it a giant mess and then thinks that like that you're going to talk back to her, but you're not.
Okay.
What do you just sit there and just listen?
Let me just make a sweeping statement to everyone out there in Radio Land. If you are in a bathroom, that is my time.
Yeah, exactly.
That is my time away from the rest of what is going on for me to settle my accounts with myself.
Also, another thing that really bothers me is if you're in the bathroom and then two people come in and they're in a conversation, then they continue their conversation in the bathroom. And it's like, now all of us are in here doing our thing and we all have to listen about the meeting you just came from. Like, no. I feel like you should walk into the bathroom and it should automatically be silent.
Well, Jackie, I think you guys have a barrier, right? Yeah. Try going to a men's bathroom where there's urinals and you're standing up and there's no barrier and some guy just turns to you and just starts talking.
I mean, sometimes there's not even barriers. It's just like some sports places, it's just like a trough.
Yeah, that's
like
disgusting.
Literally, you're just like it's like you're just lined up outside, just in the woods,
hanging brain,
hanging out. Like
absolutely,
there's like we have like guys like it's just like it's strict. There's like unspoken rules, but like. People converse, but it's kind of like when you converse and then like you get up to the urinal and it's just like it just stops for a second. Like you just kind of focus and then you leave.
So if I'm with my friends and we're like out, maybe having a couple beers, and we end up in the bathroom at the same time, I'm definitely making urinal humor.
Oh yeah, you're trying to get people to crack up.
Like like number one. Oh man, that water's cold.
Okay, well you're an idiot though, so there's a difference between you and everyone else.
We're also guys, and like for some reason we always think like it's like that's like funnies to us for some reason.
Okay, but I
Like
guess
joking in
I'm
the
not
bathroom.
talking about when we're like at a bar or a restaurant.
No, you're talking about
at
like
work.
a standard bathroom like visit on a work day.
Yeah.
I feel like there should be no conversation.
There should be no talking. It's a quiet place.
Yeah, I'm fortunate enough at work. We only have like bathrooms. There's no multiple stalls, multiple urinals. It's just a bathroom. So there's no interaction. So maybe that's something I'm missing in my professional life, or it doesn't sound like it.
No, you're fine.
Sounds like I'm benefiting from it.
Worst urinal story was when I'm like peeing in the bathroom, like the CEO comes up and he puts his hand on my shoulder, like, "How you doing, Joe?" And I'm just like, "Well, I'm done here."
Yeah.
Seriously.
Oh yeah.
Contact.
Oh, contact. Yeah.
See, people have no barriers.
That is no personal space.
Some people I know have like a very strict, if someone's in this stall, I must go into the stall that's one away from them. So there's like a
that's the
stall
rule.
in between. Yeah, but what if you can't? What if there are no choices? I mean, there's only 5 stalls, and if
Then you
someone's
leave
in
and
the
come back
second and
later.
the fourth, then what do you do? Do you wait?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to go into the
But then-
stall in
but then
between
it's a
them?
weird thing because like, do you leave the bathroom and then come back, or do you just pace in the bathroom? Like, what do you do?
No, you go to the bathroom. Like, that doesn't bother me,
Okay.
being in the stall next to someone else. But some people are very bothered by that.
No, you just yell out ETA. Just, you know.
When do you guys think I should come back?
text me when you're
Another
done.
10? All right, cool.
There should be a ticketing
Slack me.
system. You take a number.
Well, I mean, sometimes when I'm out and like I've like you've had a queue before for the guys' room like maybe like once out of every 20 times, but I always see in women's bathrooms out there's always a line, which
Yeah.
kind of like. And I only see the outside of the line. Like I don't know how you guys are queued up on the inside. Like, are you like waiting outside of individual like stalls? Like, how does that work?
No, they're just, you form a line like civilized human beings, and then you just wait for the stalls to be empty.
And you just like next one comes out.
Usually
you just go in?
the line inside the bathroom is a lot shorter than the one outside because
Okay.
there's not a ton of space to like move around. Plus, nobody wants to be the one who stands behind the door and gets smacked in the face every time someone walks in, and because they didn't see the line. It's like the line is 12 people long. How did you not see the line? Oh, that's another tangent for another day.
What's your beef, Jake?
Oh man! All right. So my beef is bar behavior. So that's a pretty general term, and I'm going to break that down for you.
Yep, please do. Bar
So bar
behavior.
behavior.
Got it. Broken down.
So from working in the service industry through college and prior, there's a certain etiquette on how to order a drink, on how to act in a public setting when you're interacting with other adults with an alcoholic beverage. So, for example, on this past Friday, we went out to a bar called American Ice. Great place. We're meeting up. Joey and I were meeting up with a couple other friends from our Ultimate Frisbee team. And we go and find some real estate so that we can have a place to stand and talk. And there's not a lot of tables, but there's like a log that you could like rest at with a couple of bar stools. So we arrive at the same time as another group of people, and they tell us, "Oh, well, I guess we'll just have to like share the space." And we're like, okay. So my wife stands and is holding the space, and Joey and I go to get beers. And when Joey and I come back, these guys have like their arms aggressively on the bar space, just saying like, "This is our bar now, and there is no room for you." After we had a clear conversation that we were going to share the space.
Yeah, they
Should
were
have got it
lying.
written down on a napkin. in writing.
Ooh, man.
I bet those people talk in the bathroom.
They definitely do.
They're definitely the kind of people who tap you on the shoulder and ask if you're done yet.
Yeah.
Like that's just not cool because like one, you should share a space if you need to, and that's almost as bad as like when people go to a bar and they don't leave the proper amount of bar stools in between. Like like sometimes there's just like there's 2 empty 1-seaters, but like you're two, like you and a buddy go,
Yeah.
and you're looking for. It's like,
Yeah.
well, people could have just like sat down properly,
Or they should offer to slide down.
yeah, or slide down. Like that shouldn't be.
Here's the question. So if you are walking up to a bar and you are with another person and there are 2 seats on either side, should you feel guilty about asking that person to move?
No.
No, you say, hey,
I
we
agree.
2 want to get in. I asked the whole bar.
Yeah.
Does everyone mind sliding down 1?
Yeah.
Like, let's just get it done. Let's work together as a team.
Has anybody ever had a problem doing that? Like,
No, people. So as a bartender, I sometimes interject. I'm like, hey, do you mind sliding down one? Especially if it's one person. Usually there's no issue. Some people are like, oh, I'm almost done, so let me just finish my meal and then I'll slide down. It's like, we're talking 1 bar stool, dude.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
I just
they
think
were
it's
there first.
Yeah, like those people mean mugging you, saying like, this is our spot. It's like, just share. It's like it's not a big
Yeah,
deal.
there's plenty of bar for everybody.
Yeah.
We're all here for the same reason.
Yeah. Some
Come
people
on.
just don't. Some people just, they can't be bothered or they just want to make a point.
Yeah, those are the same kind of people who will like tap their beer bottle to get the bartender's attention.
No. The worst is the waving your fingers, like your spirit fingers.
Or the point.
Put your spirit fingers back
just
in your
one,
holster.
One finger up.
We'll get to you when we
wiggling
can.
around.
the wiggle finger.
What's the best way, since because Joey, you
Yeah.
don't have any experience working behind a bar, do you?
I don't know.
Okay. So out of the people who have experienced you guys, what is the best way to get a
Eye contact.
Eye contact?
Absolutely.
I'm also curious about this.
Eye contact. I'm constantly aware of what's going on at the bar. I can also hear everything. It's like a very weird thing. Like when you're back there, your senses are just like very heightened, and it's just eye contact.
And people also think that that the bartender cannot hear
Oh yeah,
what is
I
going
can hear
on.
everything.
Bartenders, if you're a good bartender, which Jackie is, and I know I am because I'm great at everything I do, you are very aware. Like you're running the show, you're running the night,
Yeah.
and everyone who's there is kind of like you're directing traffic the whole time.
Yeah.
So the best way to approach a bartender is not waving your card. You don't need a hundo because we all know you're not tipping well if you have $100 bill out. Is just eye contact and be patient because the
head nod
bartender
works.
has you in their queue.
Yeah, you get head nod. Head nods are fine.
Yeah.
I don't
Hey,
mind a head
let
nod.
me get a
Even
sec.
like a little hand up is fine too. Don't mind that. But the waving and the spirit fingers, I just really, I can't stand it.
Yeah, I feel like I'm like I've always fit into that category of like the overly nice person at a bar where I'm like just kind of get up in there just like, hey, like they see me and I just wait and then like sometimes just people keep rolling through. I'm just like, hey, it's cool because like I already know that my bartender is gonna get to me, but I'm just so nice. I'm just like, oh yeah, no worries. You go first. No, you go first. Like,
Yeah.
That's how I've always been. So I don't understand people who like push up to the bar and they're like, hey, and then like just are rude and inconsiderate,
Yeah.
and then they spill their drink like all over the place. Like I don't understand it.
When I get really drunk sometimes, and I'm at a really, really crowded bar, I like to order all of the drinks for the people around me too. And I'm like, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And then I'm like, here are all the things. And then I slam my money down for my one beer and I slowly moonwalk out of there. I'm like, good luck. Good luck. You just made 25 drinks for a bunch of people I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I'm also an advocate for
Yeah, help these
collecting
people
and
out.
placing an order.
That's what people
Absolutely.
should like on a busy place. You should be banding together.
Yeah, I agree. Help your neighbor. Don't fight with your neighbor.
See, I'm most curious about like when you finally get the bartender to come over to you and like they're like, "Hey, how you doing?" Do you strike up a conversation like, "How are you? Like, how's your night going?" Or do you just like you order?
Feel the room.
It depends on the bar.
Well, I don't know.
I mean,
Like
if
if you're like Jack Rose and everyone's blasting cigars, just like order your drink. Or if you're at
if you're at like a neighborhood spot, yeah, that bartender's probably going to strike up a conversation with you. But if you're at a place where they're slamming beers and vodka sodas all night, he doesn't want to talk to you. He wants to give you your drink and then take your money.
and it's very okay to not exchange pleasantries and just make eye contact,
Tip
diction,
and leave.
and when you're clear and concise with your order, that's the best thing for a bartender. Don't ask for like a million different named drinks.
Don't ever ask for a mojito.
Yeah.
Actually, just kidding. Mojitos are delicious and they get a really bad rap because they're so annoying to make. But yeah.
You gotta
But like,
crush the
don't
mint.
order a Cape Cod. Order a vodka cranberry.
Oh my God, that's one of my biggest pet peeves ever.
Who orders Cape Cods?
all the time?
The same people who steal bar space. They say they're going to share it.
And then
Cape
go have
Cod,
conversations in the bathroom.
Or yeah, there's a lot of drinks that are really
Probably
stupid.
born in the 50s.
And also, or have you ever?
A Madras. It's vodka, orange juice, and cranberry juice.
What about a Bloody Bull? That's a Bloody Mary with a shot of beef broth.
that just sounds terrible.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
But every once in a while, one person will order it and you have to open a whole can of beef broth behind the bar and everybody has to smell it.
well, I guess we're gonna have beef something as a special tomorrow. 'cause
Yeah.
This has got to get used up.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, but no, that just stays back there.
Oh, what other kind of weird things do people order at bars? Have you?
Well, I visited you before, Jackie, and at the bar, and you've like someone's ordered something where I'm just like, what is that? And then you're like, oh yeah, we gotta that's the one we have to look up, or like I gotta double
yeah.
check this one because it's like a name that's like, it's almost like the person made it up sometimes, like drink names.
Yeah.
just like they could say anything. I could go up to a bar
Sometimes
and just be
people
like,
do. Sometimes people will come to the bar with a drink that they've had at a different restaurant. It's like their specialty cocktails. They're like, "Can I have this?" Blah blah blah, and you're like, "I've never heard of this." Googling it, it's not finding it. And they're like, "Oh, I had it this one time at this bar in London, and it was like winter and it was snowing." And I'm like, "I can't recreate that moment for you. You're gonna have to go back to London.
in the snow.
I cannot recreate that for you." But yeah, sometimes you get some people that just don't know what they're doing. How about a vodka? just on the rocks.
Just vodka and ice.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. Mm-hmm. Or tequila,
Okay.
some lime,
Tequila's good.
and soda.
I'm a whiskey person.
It is añejo season.
Anyway, that's what's your beef.
What's your beef, man? Yeah, so that we're gonna keep that one around.
Yeah, we'll do that every once in a while. When
I'm
we
all
got,
fired
we got
up.
some things.
Joey is like still really mad about the
Sweating.
millennial
Feeling
thing.
like Jackie over
I've
here.
been mad for 24 hours.
I'm just mad that like all of my beef about millennials, it just reconfirms I'm a millennial.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's a vicious circle.
Stop being so sensitive.
It's like a therapy session where it's just like you leave feeling worse than when you went in. You're
Yeah.
like, oh no, this is not helping.
I'm
No.
so meta to myself.
No, that's good. No, that's good though, because when you feel worse, that means that you're working out something that you haven't worked out before, and it's just going to get stronger.
Yeah, it's just weird to talk about stuff like that sometimes.
Welcome to our new segment, New Pod Therapy.
It's just gonna get stronger.
Like plastic.
Yeah. Hard like plastic.
Anyway, should we move on to Google What?
Yeah, let's Google some what's.
Okay.
All right, so I'll start with Google What. This week, I looked up license plates. But to be more specific, I looked up vanity license plates because you see them when you're driving around. And sometimes they're cool. Like it'll say something like speedy or whatever. Like mine growing up was slow 4-cylinder because I was making fun of the fact that people usually put like fast on their car. So I was like, no, this Toyota Matrix is pretty slow. I'm gonna call it slow
You had a
4-cylinder.
vanity license?
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
So I wanted to know.
You're that guy.
Wow.
Yeah, so I wanted to know what, like, why people get vanity license plates, and I
Wait,
found out.
Couldn't you just dig deep
Don't you
inside
know?
yourself to answer that question?
Well, the reason I got a vanity license plate is because I grew up in the state of Virginia, which is the cheapest place to get a vanity license plate. So I was allowed to have one because it only costed my parents like 10 extra bucks for registration at the time.
How much are the expensive ones?
I don't know what other states. Like it could probably be upwards of like 30, 50 bucks for registration, which is like, is it worth it? For some
No.
people, yes. Like a doctor always has like cut you up or
Oh my God.
because they're making like,
I don't want to go to that doctor.
Yeah. I've seen some funny ones.
Is that Dexter's license plate?
Yeah, seriously.
But I love Dexter. But Virginia, New Hampshire, Illinois, Nevada, and Montana are like some of the top places for popularity to have vanity plates.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Virginia, Illinois, Montana. What was the other one?
Nevada.
Nevada.
Because they're so cheap.
Yeah, and they just, I think mainly because they're cheap, but also just because people want to
There are
be
more
vain.
of those kinds of people
Yeah.
in those states.
And then that brought me from there to looking at just designs of license plates. Like, you're driving around and like you see all the different license plates and you're like, oh, that one looks cool or that one looks crappy. And we'll link to it in the show notes, but I found a Thrillist article that ranks them. So the top 5 license plates that Thrillist ranked as being like cool or like the power ranking. The number 1 plate was South Carolina, which kind of like, I guess I get it. It has like the little moon with the tree.
Yeah. Their flag is cool.
Yeah.
Not as cool as ours, but whatever.
Followed by New Mexico, which that one's cool too. And then like number 3, and this is also probably another what's my beef, is Wyoming's, which I hate. So definitely check that out in the show notes, Wyoming's license plate. The guy it's like a bucking bronco, and he takes up like a fourth of the license plate. So like even if you had a vanity plate,
There aren't a lot of people driving around Wyoming, so
that is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, no, I can see why you don't like that because it totally cuts into your design brain, and you're like, whoa.
Well, now I only
That's
have
not
like
rule of thirds.
Yeah.
That's nothing. It's
not
just
even
poor
centered.
design.
And then like it leaves me like if I want to get a vanity plate, it leaves me less room to spell something out, which is another beef when people have vanity plates you can't figure out.
So something that was popular in Delaware for license plates is everybody wanted a low number in Delaware. Did you guys know about that in
So, like-
Virginia or New Jersey?
A low number?
Well, Delaware's the only state that does this.
Oh, is
yeah,
that?
yeah, we don't do numbers.
So Delaware, you can inherit license plates.
Yeah.
So like there's numbers like 2 through 10, like you can inherit those. And so like the very wealthy families in Delaware have like those very low license plate
like
numbers.
one number, like the number 2. Like
Yes.
So
Two.
I think 2
What,
through
like-
6 is reserved for government
Yeah,
officials.
some of them are governments, but like if you have like 19, you're balling.
Do you think Joe Biden's license plate is 00?
Definitely. But no, what's crazy is they will raffle these low license plate numbers off for like $250,000.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It's like a super status thing to have. So if you have under 5 numbers in Delaware, you can get a black license plate, which is smaller, and it's black with white lettering. So if you see somebody with that license plate number, because we don't use letters in Delaware because there's only like 1 million people in Delaware, so they only use numbers. So yeah, that was a big.
That's really cool though, because like I always thought like the antique plates were really cool on an antique car.
No, those are
like
tight.
that's where it's like, oh yeah, they're still living like those like awesome muscle car days.
Actually, I'm browsing this Thrillist article. Did you know that France invented the license plate?
No.
I did not know that. That's interesting. I also think that any European license plate or any license plate outside of the United States looks way cooler than ours. I like the small, like they're like, they're really like long and short, like
Oh, yeah.
I think they look cool.
Okay.
My friend runs this website called the Delaware3000.org, where like he chronicles, like he goes around taking pictures of all the low digit license plates that he sees.
Interesting.
So he's like obsessed with it or whatever.
Right.
But it's a pretty cool website. Like if you go to it, you just see like all the
Oh my
license
gosh.
plates that
All
like.
the
That's
license
cool.
plates.
We'll link to that in the show notes.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was my Google what, and yeah, now you all can live in license plate envy with me.
All right. My Google was kind of lame, but I don't really like to watch award shows when they're happening, but I Google hard the next day because I want to watch all of the performances and find out everybody who won. So last night was the American Music Awards, and then this morning before I got out of bed, I spent like a solid 40 minutes just watching all of the videos of everybody singing. So I may as well have watched it last night or recorded it or whatever. But yeah, so then I Googled who won. Bruno Mars is the Artist of the Year, in case you were wondering.
Oh, pound for pound, best performing artist of our time right now.
Yeah, my mom really likes him too. So
What do
Hot take.
award shows run now in terms of time? I
they're
haven't watched one in a
long.
long
I
time.
think they're still like 3 or 4 hours.
Man,
well,
that's
there's
a
a ton of
commitment.
commercials.
I know, and then like and the performances on that, like that's
Yeah.
a long time just to figure out
Yeah.
who won something.
So the big drama from last night, just so you guys know, is that Christina Aguilera did a tribute to Whitney Houston, saying like,
She's still around?
Christina Aguilera? Yeah. Absolutely. Oh my God, I love her. And she sang like 4 of her songs, was like a big mashup, but everyone was saying that she was off pitch. And they had all of these shots of the audience like throwing shade at her while she was singing, specifically Pink. But then later, so I watched the whole performance, obviously. And then later in the show or whatever, just her part of the show, they go back to Pink, and Pink is like so happy and she's into it because she was singing I'm Every Woman, and like how could you not be happy? And I was like, I think they just got Pink in like a weird moment. Maybe she was burping or something.
They do that a lot. I have noticed on award shows, they wait for that one moment where like
Yeah.
they're doing nothing relevant.
Yeah. So I mean, I watched it. I know nothing about being in tune. And Christina Aguilera sounded awesome to me. So maybe that's saying something. That's that.
So
Yeah.
I Googled how many Netflix subscribers there are because we went to my in-laws over the weekend, and on the drive up, I was just kind of thinking about the Netflix business model and how they have a lot of money, one, to produce original content. They're buying old licenses, so they bought what was it? Not Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Arrested Development?
Arrested Development, and they bought that and they produced additional shows. So it's like thinking about how many subscribers do they have?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know because I know for a long time my Netflix subscription was used by like 10 people.
Yeah. So right now there's 109.25 million subscribers.
So much Netflix and chill.
So that's what, $1 billion a month in revenue that they're generating just
Easily.
through subscriptions.
Yeah.
That's a ton of money.
Well, how do you think they churn out all those?
No, I know,
movies
but
and stuff?
I never put 2 and 2 together.
I mean, they have gotten to the point where, like, I could not have imagined that like the little DVDs I used to get in the mail or like would go to the machine and get it out of the machine would like turn into a media powerhouse making all this original content.
So the other thing too is not only do they have all this money, they have all this reach, right? They're going directly into like Netflix and chill is a thing that happened, right? It's just finding its what binge watching episodes. They've like created a whole culture around
binge watching for sure.
Yeah, binge watching is like the thing to do now, right? When I watch shows, I just watch Mindhunter. I watched it all day on Sunday, and I didn't watch football. That's how you know it's good.
So good.
Yeah, I think for me, I still have a really good way to judge it. If I start binge watching a show, then I am fully like committed.
Yeah.
I mean, Netflix is doing so well that I was listening to The Verge's "Why'd You Push That Buttons" podcast, and they were talking about like, do you share your Netflix password? Like, how many people do you share it with? And they have some interesting takes on that. But like they had the Netflix CEO saying like on a sales call, he was like, "Yeah, we don't really worry about people sharing their password because we don't
why
have
would
to
you
at this
worry
point."
with
Yeah.
109 million subscribers?
But also, it does stop you when two people are watching. I've been there.
does
'cause
do
my
that
whole
now.
family
I thought you
shares
could use
it.
3 at once. Is that not true?
The other night, I was told that my parents and my sister were watching, and I wasn't allowed to watch. And I was like, "Well, what are they watching?"
Well, you definitely, I'm missing out.
Yeah.
You definitely knew who your real friends were back in the day when you changed your Netflix password and then the text started rolling in. Hey, dude, what's up? You want to hang out today?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And, just by the way, did you change your Netflix password?
That happened to me this past weekend. I was at a party, and my friends started like cryptically talking about, I think it was The Leftovers. They were like, "Yeah, we never got to finish The Leftovers. Wonder why?" And then my other friend was like, "Yeah, maybe it's because Jackie changed the password to her Showtime." And I was like, "Oh my God, you guys, I canceled my Showtime. I'm not paying for it anymore. I'm sorry that I put a burden on your life." But they also didn't text me. They didn't say like, "Hey, did you change your password?" Because I would have just told them I canceled it. But
I know, like there's no stigma. If you use it, just ask.
just ask, and I would have let you down easy. I just canceled that shit.
Oh, I would have kept sending them like past like fake passwords. Like, oh, really? It's not working for you?
That one doesn't
I don't
work?
think you're typing it in right.
It's an uppercase J.
My favorite part of that podcast I was listening to is this guy who would give his girlfriends new passwords, like with their name in it. So he's like, "Oh, thanks for like dating me. Here's your Netflix password," and then he'd like switch it when they broke up.
Oh my God.
It's like checking into a hotel kind of thing.
That's horrifying.
Oh my God. That's
I hate that.
Man, this guy's
terrible.
running through the.
And then the other thing I googled was what was the tallest Jenga tower ever?
And we're talking standard Jenga.
Standard Jenga.
That's
because-
definitely in the Book of World Records,
So
isn't it? I feel like
standard
that's something
Jenga
stupid people would
starts
do.
with 18 quote unquote stories, right?
So 18 levels is how we start.
18 levels is what you start. The most ever, drum roll please,
Oh God,
I can't do drum roll.
I don't want to drum it.
is 40. 40, so
Wow.
40, so that's over 2 times as high with
That's
less.
That's impressive because like Jenga's already pretty tall in the beginning.
Yeah. So
I'm really impressed by that. Is that bad?
what's that?
That I'm not impressed by it
By
being
40?
Yeah, if it's 18 to start, you just put basically 2 on top of each
Yeah,
other.
but you're starting with like a solid base and you're
I mean, yeah, I guess it would be
changing
like pretty.
people who are touching it. It's shifting its weight. So the reason,
Oh, so you're saying with people pulling blocks
yeah,
out?
and putting it back
grows.
on top.
It grows.
okay.
grows.
Right.
See, I thought you were just saying like they just built it down.
No, that's dumb.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I obviously wasn't understanding.
At the end, no, before the tower falls, the highest is 40.
Okay.
So we were
That's
playing,
a lot more impressive.
We were playing like jumbo Jenga this weekend, and we got to 31, which 9 away from the record.
And that's jumbo Jenga.
That's jumbo Jenga.
And then you got like the full size, like huge Jenga.
Yeah,
now
we were
outside.
playing 2x4.
Yeah.
Which
Jenga.
makes so much noise when they fall down.
Oh yeah, it is
yeah.
Yeah,
scary.
we were playing
Small
inside,
earthquake.
Yeah,
like
it's
on
so
hardwood
loud.
floors. I'm glad it wasn't my house.
Whenever you're at a bar and there's a giant Jenga and it all falls and everybody's like, and you're like,
yeah.
well, you knew it was going to happen.
It's like the
bunch of
whole
wood.
building's
Oh
coming
yeah,
down.
that's like an H Street Country Club.
Yeah,
That's-
I'm specifically thinking of that place.
Those are really fun though, because like my theory with Jenga is the less you care, the better you do. Like if you just get up in there, you tap something that's loose, just go for it. I feel like you do way better.
But I feel like if everybody is doing it like that, then
That can get reckless.
Yeah,
that's
that
what
gets
I'm saying.
reckless.
I think the best people are like that one person that does
like
it.
everybody is the Joker.
Or
It's
you're on
like,
the
"Ugh."
other end. Yeah. Or you're on the other end of the spectrum where you're like the one person who's like super keyed in on it. You're not focused on anything else and you are paying
You get
attention.
mad at everybody else's move. Like, that was the wrong move.
When you guys play Jenga, do you play the rules where you can only pull the one that you touch, or is it like you can mess around and pick the one that's loose?
So we went back and forth with that over the weekend, and
Yeah.
we played whichever one was loose because it was difficult.
Yeah.
And to reset Jumbo Jenga
Yeah.
is a lot more than resetting
It's an engineering feat.
standard
Little Jenga.
Jenga. So we played whatever one was loose. You could go for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
fair.
we just play. You can just touch a bunch because that's like. I mean,
Touching, yeah.
Just
the
touch
more
a bunch.
touching, the better.
yeah, you gotta see which one's loose. Poke
Have you
around.
guys ever played Bones before?
Bones.
So Bones is similar to Jenga, but there are rules written on each Jenga.
Oh, yes, I've
block.
played this.
So when you pull it out, it's like pick somebody to take a drink with,
Yeah.
or
Oh, like Dirty Jenga.
yeah,
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, it's fun.
never played that.
I like when you go. I like when you go to a bar and there's like communal Jenga, but people have written their own rules on it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, then they're usually really terrible rules. And then some of them were like, "Ha, like Mary's so funny," and you're like, "Who the fuck is Mary?
Who the fuck is Mary?
Why'd you write this on here?" Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Google.
Well,
What do you got,
my
Joey?
Google what was a throwback to last week because Jake made a comment during the episode that something had legs,
It's got legs.
and I was a little confused as to what it meant.
I still am.
To be
Joey's
honest
like,
with you,
"I have legs."
I've used that before. I've heard Jake use that before. We've all said it at one point probably, and I've never known what it meant.
Yeah,
I've never
I was
said it.
very
Hands down, I've
three
never said
people in the same day used the phrase, and I was like, all right, I got to get to the bottom of this. So I Googled, what does has legs mean? There's apparently multiple meanings. There's the wine meaning, where if you swirl a glass of
Oh, yeah.
wine, the legs are how
Oh,
you know
yeah.
the
That
That
drippings
means
on
it's
the
a good
side.
wine, right?
Yeah.
It's based on the
The
alcohol
viscosity.
content.
It doesn't mean it's a good wine.
It doesn't. Yeah, it just means
It just-
alcohol level of
Okay.
the wine.
Just that's a misnomer.
Yes. Take notes.
Note taken.
The way you were using has legs was supposed to mean has potential, but I believe you said it goes.
Yeah, no. When everyone kept so Jake, when you say something has legs, what specifically are you talking about? And I said, yeah, like it goes.
Nope.
Like it can get up
Goes
and walk
where?
away.
Yeah, it goes where?
It goes.
It's got legs that can walk away.
So it's good to know that Jake didn't know what it meant either. He was just spewing lies again.
But the thing was, we kind of like, it's okay because we all just assumed it meant something that everyone already
Everyone's
knows.
like, "Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, Jake. Oh yeah, it's
Jake,
got
that made a
legs.
ton of sense."
yeah, it's
Oh,
got
yeah,
legs.
yeah.
It's all- it goes. It goes. Yeah,
Yeah, it goes.
Yeah, this podcast got legs.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's got legs. We're going.
It
we're
gets
going.
up and walks around.
I don't know where we're going, but we're going.
Walks
Okay,
straight into
but
your ears.
You saying this podcast has legs means it has potential. Like I can stand behind that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Prayer hands.
Yeah, it's definitely got legs.
All right. Well,
Well, that's all we have time for this week. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at NewPodWhoDis, on Twitter at NewPod_Whodis, at Facebook at NewPodWhodis, on YouTube by searching NewPod.
just Google it. Just Google it.
Just Google NewPodWhodis.
Check out our website at newpodwhodis.com.
And we'll be back here again for you next Saturday. Everyone have a good week. Later.
Bye.
See you.
Peace.